What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're here with Jordi Pluto. He's been on the channel a few times. First time being a one-on-one guest. How are we going today?
Yeah, I'm not going too bad. Obviously season's come to an end, and yeah.
Yes, very sad. No footy for a few months. But what we're doing today, we're going to be reflecting on the 2020 AFL season, on how well everyone's done, and we're going to be grading them. And yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so yeah, we're just going to be going in order. First up, I think we can just get underway. Richmond, putting them straight in A+. They won the premiership. Like, what else do you want me to say? And Tim Akers glitched. There we go.
It takes UCATT an effort just to put the team in the G.
Oh my. Oh, there we go. Alright, Richmond A+. Alright, next up, Adelaide.
Yep, we can definitely put them
we can
in
confirm it's E.
Yeah. What a great season that they had.
They didn't have high expectations and they haven't lived up to them.
Yeah. They'll be going onto a bus blindfold and listening to every team's theme song this year in the pre-season.
Yeah, I'm sure they know every team's theme song. Next up, we've got the Brisbane Lions, which is an interesting one. Because from last year, I kind of expected them pre-season to maybe flop like a Melbourne, but they didn't. They maintained performance. They made a prelim.
Coming into the season, I expected them to still be as high as they were, and they definitely did it. I'd put them. Yeah, I reckon I'd put them in B, because I reckon their performance against Geelong in the preliminary final was just pretty average.
It was, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. They had a good regular season, all about the finals. They had a good qualifying final win against the Premiers, but that doesn't mean anything if you don't win it. Yeah. Next up, we've got the great team of Sir Kakar, Carlton.
Yeah, Carlton.
I thought they'd do more.
Yeah, I thought they'd do a little bit more. I'd put them in D just because obviously the wins they got were like more than half of them were under a goal, and then most of their losses were like 3+ goal losses.
Yeah, and I'm leaning towards C, but I'm happy with D.
Yeah, I'd put him in E if I really wanted to.
Yeah, well, we'll keep him in D.
Tennis wouldn't be too happy if we did that.
No, make it an entire diss track. Next up, we have got Collingwood. I can't see them going any higher than C due to expectation.
Yeah.
Like finishing 8th, they were expected. So after last year making the prelim.
But then their massive win against the Eagles in the elimination final really comes into effect here as well, because
it does.
Are they on the same?
Yeah, are they on the same level as Brisbane? That's what we come down to. I reckon
just put them in C at the moment, and then maybe change it up later.
Shuffle. It's supposed to be an alphabetical order, but next up we have the Bulldogs. They just made finals.
Yeah,
they lost the Elam to the Saints.
Yeah, that was a great game, that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Felix and Blaze 17. But yeah, I'd put them in C with Collingwood as well. Just they're on the same level as Collingwood.
Yeah, definitely. Both just making finals, low 8. Had average finals performances.
Yeah, and had also underperformed against some of the worst teams as well, both of them.
Yeah, very inconsistent. Next up, we have the Dons, which is... Do you put them in D? That's
I reckon D, just because the way they lost all their games was the same way. They did not lose any of their games in a different way. It was all the same way.
Can't agree more.
There was no different plan. It was all the same plan under Worsfold, and after that, everyone wants to leave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they underperformed. I mean, I didn't expect much from them pre-season, but they were pretty much the exact same team from last season.
Yeah.
Next up, we have my team, the Frio Dockers. Geez, it's probably D borderline C.
I reckon I'd say a high D because they were definitely obviously you look at the season, it doesn't really look like they had that good of a season, but they were really consistent this year.
Yeah, and with a young list, they've adapted to J-Lo's coaching style quite well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dockers made the finals next year.
Well, I reckon my tip's probably like 6th or 7th next year. I wouldn't be surprised with our young talent developing. Next up, the Cats. For me personally, just A. I mean, they're the runners up. So you can't really. I mean, you can't put them in A+. That's Richmond exclusive. So yeah, I think A. They're the runners up. I don't know. I mean, they finished 4th in the regular season, but they made it to the grand final. Had a good finals performance. Well, I mean, they lost their qualifying, but that performance against Collingwood was exceptional. The performance against Brisbane was exceptional. So yeah, I think A. Okay, this is one of the most interesting ones, the Suns.
Yeah, because the season, like quite a lot of the last seasons, in a lot of the other seasons that they've done this, where they had that exceptional start, and then obviously in the second half of the year they completely drop off.
That's kind of the same with North Melbourne as well.
Yeah, well, North Melbourne only played about 2 good games and then they dropped off.
Well, to be fair, North was sitting like first 4 or 5 games of the season. They were sitting in the 8.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, on to Gold Coast.
Yeah.
You can't put them higher than D.
Yeah. I'd put them in front of Essendon.
Same. Yeah, I would. I'd probably put them there because I think Carlson had, well, obviously a better season, and they did perform better. And to be fair, most of Gold Coast games started the season were predominantly Matt Rao.
Yeah.
I didn't have many other better performers. So if you're getting carried by a first, second gamer, I don't know what to think about you. I think the Giants next up, very underperforming team. Personally, I put them high end of D.
Yeah, that's where I put them as well. Just because they just dropped. Yeah, they just dropped their game after. Yeah, the grand final last year. They've not been the same side they were last year. They've been one of the biggest down climbs this season.
Oh, 100%. I probably put them above the Dockers, but then again, I think the Dockers play a better play style this year. I'll put them above them, but yeah, we'll shuffle around later. Next up, Hawthorn, and I know you probably shouldn't be putting teams on the same level as Adelaide, but I'm even tempted to put them in E.
I'm tempted to put them in E as well, especially losing to Adelaide as well. That's a skill in itself, losing to Adelaide.
Yeah, I wonder how Huntsman will feel about that.
He'll probably be watching this at 3 a.m. when he's having his dinner.
Next up, we have the Melbourne Football Club, who, I mean, okay, talking expectation. 2018 made finals, 2019 dropped off big time.
Yeah,
what were we really expecting from them this season?
I was expecting them to climb back up. I'm pretty sure at the start of the season I actually had them finishing 9th. So that they finished exactly where I expected them to. So I'd put them in D, ahead of
high end,
ahead of GWS.
Ahead of GWS, the top of D. Yeah. I mean, one spot off the 8, you can't really go much lower. Next up, North Melbourne. Is that another E team?
They're definitely going the E. Obviously.
Is that above Hawthorn?
Yeah, above Hawthorn.
Yeah.
just atrocious. Obviously, their first 2 games against the Saints and Giants, everyone thought that they were going to be like a top 4 contender. And then, we all know what happened there.
Yeah, we all know what happens. To be fair, I was one of those people who thought they would get, or not top 4, but top 8.
Yeah, and
they were looking very good early on, but
and now in result to that, North Melbourne's cost young King Cookson a tattoo of the Hawthorn logo on his ass.
That was on the season predictions,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Oh, I forgot about that. Next up, Port Adelaide. Or do you put them in A?
Yeah, I reckon definitely.
They're minor premiers. They made the prelim.
They were
Behind Geelong.
they were very unlucky not to get the win over the Tigers. If only Charlie Dixon had taken that mark, we could have experienced some extra time action.
And if Hamish Hartlett didn't do the dumbest play I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay, next up the Saints.
Yeah, now my team, I'd put them at the front of C. I reckon that definitely the top of C, almost.
To be fair, I'm tempted to put them in B.
Yeah,
because were we really expecting this from the Saints this season?
Obviously, the 5 recruits we had in Hill, Jones, Ryder, Howard, and Butler. I mean,
Hill underperformed.
Yeah, he was the worst out of the bloody 5. He was in the BNF, all 4. Every recruit besides Hill came in the top 10, and as a St Kilda supporter myself, I had them finishing around 12th, so they heavily exceeded expectations from not just us St Kilda fans, but the whole AFL.
They've exceeded expectations more than any other team this year. I'm gonna put them lower end of B. I think that's pretty fair. Okay, this is interesting. The Swans. The most inconsistent team all year.
Yeah,
Seriously.
They're like, I'd say the top at either the top at E or the bottom at D, because they had some good wins, and then obviously they had some terrible losses.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I'm not putting the Swans anywhere near Adelaide, North or Hawthorn. I think those 3 by far were the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put them lower into D. Essendon were even better than them.
And I'll just expect the Swans to rise up in 2021.
No, I do. They've got lots of young talent.
And
next up,
the Eagles.
The Eagles. The West Coast Football Club. They finished the exact same position they did last year.
The West Melbourne Eagles.
Yes, Elijah, if you're watching.
In the AGL League.
This is hard. This is very hard.
I'd put them at the bottom of C just because. They
lost to Elam.
Yeah, because they underperformed for a lot of people, because a lot of people had going into the season had a Richmond West Coast Grand Final, and and I wouldn't say you were crazy if you said West Coast had the most talented list in the league. Yeah, and so I'd put them at the bottom of C behind the Dogs and Pies, because then they were very lackluster against Collingwood in the elimination final as well. Yeah, they definitely were. And also at the start of the year, West Coast they can't play away from Optus. We learned that during the hubs. Yeah. So yeah, very interesting there. So we're done. Yeah, do you want to reshuffle anything? We better hope they recruit some women's players for Shannon, so that they can do better. I heard they're actually playing in West Melbourne this year due to the blow up of Optus. Do I reshuffle anyone? I reckon it looks about right, I reckon. The only shuffle I'd potentially do would be St Kilda to C, but I'm happy with this. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Yeah. Anyway, I guess I'll wrap up the video now. Thank you, Jordi, for coming on. His link and his socials will be in the description. Any last words? Go subscribe to the UCATT channel.
Thank you, appreciate it. Elijah Wilson also says go the West Melbourne Eagles, and yeah, see you later.
I'll be getting a membership for the West Melbourne Eagles.
I'm always getting mad, I'm always such a drag, but I'm not like that. I know that I'm too hard to find.